Well, the Rockies lost yesterday. They lost game one of this series, and that's all we're going to say about that. Score was 9-8. So Rockies are now at 500. 11-6 are the Padres. They're in first place. And it's Jackie Robinson Day, folks. Always a good day to honor number 42, and everyone wears number 42. Mariano Rivera was the last player in baseball to wear that number on a day that is not Jackie Robinson Day. Joey Lucchesi gets the start for the Padres today in Game 2. This is his fourth start of the season, 18 and a third innings pitched. 19 strikeouts to 4 walks. He was good against the Rockies in his first start of the year against Colorado. And David Dahl will be the first batter he faces. Got that batting average up to 231 now, does Dahl. It'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Dahl hits lefties well, at least he has in his career. That's taken outside, changing things up on the first pitch is Lucchesi. So 11-6, that's good enough for first place in the National League West for the San Diego Padres. Here comes a 1-0 now to Dahl, and it's swung on and missed. Sinking fastball. Partly cloudy skies right now in San Diego, 65 degrees, no wind to speak of at all. Very offensive night for both teams on Tuesday evening. Both teams scoring at least 8 runs. Here comes a 1-1 pitch now to Dahl. That's taken low and away. Lucchesi gets the sign he likes into his motion. The windup and the 2-1 pitch is taken low, 3-1 the count. Trevor Story is waiting on deck. Story a little bit better as of late. Batting average is up to 172 for him as the Rockies offense collectively tries to get it all going. They certainly hit enough last night. Unfortunately, the bullpen was not able to preserve the lead. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Full count on David Dahl. And a 3-2 now. That swung on and missed to get him on strikes. First out of the day is a strikeout for Lucchesi, and he gets Dahl by way of the K. That'll bring up Trevor Story. Four-game hitting streak for Story. Remember, he had 2 really big hits in the final 2 games of the series in Arizona. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in on the year. Had a 2-run home run in the 14th inning of the 14-inning game, 2 in Arizona. Then a big RBI double in the 8th on Sunday, Easter Sunday. Lucchesi gets ready to deliver his first pitch to Story, who certainly hits lefties well, and that's taken just a bit outside. Well, there's going to be a changing financial landscape in baseball. Not simulated baseball, but real baseball with what we're seeing with the postponement of games due to the coronavirus pandemic. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed by Story. And Buster Olney, senior writer of baseball at ESPN, wrote an article. The whole thing is recommended in its entirety, but he talked about certain teams and how they could be impacted by that changing financial landscape. We'll talk about that a little bit early on in this one. Story takes a pitch down and in. Because the longer baseball's doors are closed, the greater the cost. And team officials and player agents are bracing for what they expect to be a dramatic shift in the financial landscape, especially if the sport is shut down for the rest of the season. Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Story, and that swung on and missed, really tied up Story down and in. If he could do it again, he'd hold up on that one, but that's a swing and miss, and Story strikes out. Second strikeout of the day for Lucchesi, and that's out number 2. So if a sizable portion of the 2020 season ends up being lost, as Nolan Arenado bats, there will be a natural response among clubs to scale back to reduced vulnerability. As Arenado swings and grounds onto first base, it's off the glove of Hosmer. Now he'll feed over to Lucchesi, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless, and we'll talk more about Major League Baseball and the potential cancellation of the season when we return. Here's John Gray making his 4th start of the season. He's been solid, if unspectacular, to start the year. We know he has more in the tank. 15 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 7 walks, a 3.60 ERA, 133 WHIP. He's allowed 15 hits, so a couple more hits than his innings pitched. Like to see a little bit more length from him. Juan Lagares is on a 5-game hitting streak, so he's got his batting average all the way up to 191. First pitch from Gray is swung on and lined into right field, a base hit. Tapia will pick it up, throw it in. Raimel Tapia playing in right field today. Eric Hosmer will be the batter, hitting .315 with a .413 on base percentage this year. And saw his batting average dip down after yesterday's game. Still is able to be a factor in there, though. First pitch from Gray is low, ball 1. So let's continue talking about Buster Olney's article related to the changing financial landscape in baseball. If a sizable portion of the 2020 season is lost, there's expected to be a natural response among clubs. As the runner goes, and the pitch down is not in time, that's a stolen base for Juan Lagares. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Hosmer. Clubs would scale back, reduce vulnerability to offset the hit to revenue. Whenever the game returns, there may well be a flurry of player movement that is driven by the need to unload as much debt as possible. Whenever clubs get the go-ahead to make deals again, right now there's a transaction freeze. It could be similar to the stock market at the opening bell on those days when bad news is expected, Olney writes. It's a 2-2 count now on Hosmer. Pitch from Gray is swung on and pulled towards right field. It's hooking, and it's going to go foul to the seats. Hosmer will go back and do it again. Only uses the Chicago White Sox and is an example. We'll pick it up after this pitch, which is low, so a full count now. The White Sox are a team that has gone through years of rebuilding now to be at the edge of contention. They were really aggressive on the free agent market this winter. They signed Yasmani Grandal, former Padre, former Dodger, so former Brewer as well. Rockies no longer have to deal with him in the National League at least. But he signed a 4-year, $73 million contract. White Sox also signed Dallas Keuchel, starting pitcher, to a 3-year, $55.5 million deal as Hosmer swings and misses. That's out number 1, first strikeout of the day for Gray. Also, the White Sox re-signed first baseman Jose Abreu for a 3-year, $50 million deal. They also have put together deals with Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez. Some young players they've locked up, so they did this under the premise that it's better to pay a little more guaranteed money at the outset of a contract to save money at the back end of the deal. What the White Sox and other teams could not have known then is those deals signed under the pre-coronavirus business models may not have the same context as anticipated. So if, in the face of industry losses, Olney writes, Pham grounds one towards third base, Arenado's going to throw to first for out number 2, Lagares stays put. So we'll take a look at the Padres starting lineup now. It's Lagares in center, Hosmer at first, Pham in left, Tatis at short, Manny Machado at third base batting 5th, batting 6th the right fielder Will Myers, batting 7th the second baseman Brian Dozier, batting 8th the catcher Francisco Mejia, and batting 9th starting pitcher Joey Lucchesi. So here's Fernando Tatis Jr. Leadoff single and a stolen base for Lagares. Gray trying to strand him there. At second base, first pitch is high to Tatis. So if, in the face of industry losses, future free agent contracts are scaled back, then contracts that we talked about, Grandal, Keuchel, Abreu, they will appear outsized, and the White Sox won't enjoy the benefits of per-dollar production in the earliest period of the Moncada and Anderson contracts that they anticipated. Moncada was set to make $1.8 million this year, but next year his salary jumps to $6.8 million, while Anderson makes $4 million this year, and he'll be more expensive next season at $7.25 million. Gray gets ready to deliver his 1-1 pitch to Tatis, and it's swung on and lifted in the air towards deep left field, way back and gone. 2-run home run for Fernando Tatis Jr., his 3rd home run of the season. It gives the Padres a 2-0 lead early in this one. Rockies have not seen all that Tatis has had to offer, but that was it right there. 413 feet off the bat, 106.7 mile per hour exit velocity. And the Padres will play from in front early in this one, as Tatis put a charge into that one to deep left field. Desmond kind of went back to give it a courtesy look, but that was well out of the ballpark. Manny Machado will be the batter, 217. Batting average on the year, a bit of a slow start still. Had a couple RBIs in the ballgame yesterday, a 383 slugging percentage for Machado. Gray into his motion. His first pitch to Machado is taken outside. Machado, good numbers in his career against John Gray, 8 for 20 with a couple home runs. That's a 400 batting average with some power. And here's a 1-0. That's swung on and lined towards right center field. That's going to get down, and that's going to get up the gap all the way to the wall. Dahl over to pick it up, and cruising into second base with a double is Manny Machado. He's there with 2 outs. 5th double of the year for Machado. So we talked about the changing financial landscape. So what does Buster Olney say about how things will change for the Rockies? Well, it's bound to change the context, he says, for Nolan Arenado and the Rockies and their troubled relationship, he writes, because if the Rockies have to cut payroll in the future years, then Arenado's salary will absorb a greater percentage of their budget. But moving him in his big contract may become even more difficult for Colorado in the face of the broader effort among teams to reduce costs. And if free agent deals are scaled back to reflect a new norm in baseball's business, then the possibility of opting out of his contract after the 2021 season could bring more uncertainty for Arenado about replicating the dollars in his current deal. He's owed $234 million over the next 7 years. And while this broadcaster would say that he's worth every penny, that's kind of the X factor here that the industry is going to be talking about. 1-0 pitch to Will Myers is swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. Desmond's going back. He's got it in range now. He'll camp under it and make the catch, and that'll retire the side. We're through an inning of play. Fernando Tatis Jr., it's a 2-run home run, and that's the score now, 2-0 Padres. Daniel Murphy's on a 5-game hitting streak. He's 12 for his last 24 at the plate. That's a 500 batting average. He's hitting .313 overall on the season with a couple home runs, and he leads off this top of the second inning. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. Lucchesi had a 1-2-3 first inning. And his first pitch to Murphy is swung on and missed. So coronavirus is changing the landscape for finances in baseball, but even before that, there was the issue of the collective bargaining agreement, which is now set to expire in 19 months. So both sides are going to have to continue to collaborate to adjust to whatever new normal evolves. So Buster Olney writes, would MLB ask for some adjustments to terms of existing contracts in return for other guarantees for the players? 0-2 pitch to Murphy is taken down and in. Or will the union's concerns about service time manipulation and free agency be addressed? Will the sides find a way to prevent widespread tanking, which might appear to be an even more effective strategy in the wake of those financial losses for franchises? We'll have to see. Here's a 1-2 pitch now to Murphy, and that's cued towards second base. It'll be Dozier to make the catch for out number 1. Let's look at the Padres' defense now. Left to right in the outfield, it's Tommy Pham, Juan Lagares, and Will Myers. This is the same lineup as yesterday. Infield corners, Manny Machado and Eric Hosmer. Up the middle, your double play combination, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Brian Dozier. And your battery consists of the catcher, Francisco Mejia, and today's starting pitcher, Joey Lucchesi. Ryan McMahon will bat now. First pitch is taken low and away. McMahon 217 with 4 home runs and 12 driven in on the year. He's off to a really hot stretch, but starting to cool off a little bit now. 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. McMahon still does have that stretch of 3 home runs over his last 9 games. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's swung on and missed for strike 2. McMahon in his career does have reverse splits. Hits lefties better than he hits righties. or at least he has. Here's a 1-2 now, and that's swung on in line towards center field. Coming in is Lagares, and he'll have to play it on a hop. McMahon on his way to second base, and he's going to get in there as the ball is dropped for a brief period of time by Lagares. That's a double for Ryan McMahon, his third double of the season. And that'll bring up Ian Desmond. Day off yesterday, back there in left field today is Desmond. First pitch from Lucchesi is taken just a bit outside. There's a swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. Desmond sitting on 1,442 career hits in his career with the Nationals, Rangers, and Rockies. 4th year of his deal with Colorado. Takes a pitch down and in. He really hits lefties well, does Ian Desmond. But his batting average has dropped to 192 to start the year. So now just Arenado, McMahon, and Murphy are the 3 players who have started every game for the Rockies this year. There's a strike and the count evens at 2. 2-2 pitch from Lucchesi to Desmond is swung on in line towards right center field. That's going to drop in there for a base hit. McMahon will be held at third. There are runners on the corners with 1 out now, as Desmond comes through with a piece of opposite field hitting. And that will bring up Raimel Tapia. Tapia getting his second straight start. Batting average only at 118 on the year. They're trying to get him going. There's a strike. This is his 3rd start of the year. Started in place of Ian Desmond last night. This is his 2nd time replacing Charlie Blackmon. Did that once in Arizona. It's Blackmon getting his 2nd off day of the year. Lucchesi delivers, and that's swung on and chopped foul. It's quickly 0-2 on Tapia. So also, we're talking about finances in Major League Baseball today. At Inside the Seams, Tracy Ringlesby wrote an article about the Rockies and their franchise value, which ranks 21st in baseball, while their payroll ranks 12th. There's a pitch low. That Rockies' payroll increased this offseason just because of some backloaded deals and arbitration raises. They didn't really sign anyone who was going to cost more money. Tapia takes a pitch low, count evens at 2. $150.505 million is the franchise record payroll for the Rockies. Tapia swings, grounds one towards second base. Dozier will go to second for 1 back to first, and it's not in time. McMahon will score on an RBI ground out off the bat of Tapia, and the Rockies are on the board. They trail it 2-1 now. Saw yesterday the 6-run deficit was nothing to sneeze at for the Padres, who battled back to win that game 9-8 after trailing at 8-2. Elias Diaz will be the batter, facing the lefty Lucchesi. And the first pitch is taken in the dirt. So 7th consecutive season the Rockies have seen their club's payroll increase. Franchise worth $1.275 billion according to Forbes, a 4% increase from a year ago, and the 21st highest among all 30 teams. Yankees are number 1, then the Dodgers, Red Sox, Cubs, and Giants. 2-0 pitch to Diaz is swung on and chopped foul. As you can see there, the NL West, the only division with 2 teams among the top 5 in terms of franchise value. Only the Marlins are not valued at least $1 billion. They're at $980 million. Marlins actually dropped 2% from a year ago. Diaz swings, grounds one to second base. Dozier up with the ball, has time, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is 2-1 Padres. Rockies get on the board. Brian Dozier leads off the bottom of the 2nd inning against John Gray. 2-1 Padres. Dozier on a 5-game hitting streak. He's got that batting average up to .259. 1 home run, 4 runs driven in on the year for Dozier. Pitch from Gray is swung on and fouled out of play. And this 0-1 offering is taken outside with a slider. Dozier got off to a very slow start to the season. Didn't really hit all that much in the first two series of the year against the Rockies. There's a pitch down and in. But he has been better at the plate as of late. Gray, we're going to be watching that pitch count for him today. He's at 22, looking for him to have a lengthy start. Gray, when we talked to him this offseason, said his goal was to strike out 200 batters and pitch 200 innings this year. 2-1 pitch is swung on and lifted in the air. The catcher, Diaz, in fair territory, will come in and make the catch for out number 1. Rest of the Rockies' defense now. From left to right in the outfield, it's Desmond, Dahl, and Tapia. Infield corners, Arenado and Murphy. Up the middle, that double play combination. Trevor Story and Ryan McMahon, and Elias Diaz is doing the catching today for John Gray. Rockies still last place in the National League in terms of fielding percentage. It was a bit of a rough start defensively for the usually sure-handed Rockies, so they will be working on getting that number up. Francisco Mejia takes a pitch high. What a start to the season for Mejia in a Padres uniform. 6-game hitting streak. He's hitting .362 with 4 home runs, though 3 of those homers have come against the Colorado Rockies, 1 last night, and 2 in that first series of the year. Big 3-run home run in the first game of the season, then a game-tying home run off Wade Davis, and the third game of that opening series. Fly ball to center field. Dahl makes the catch. That's out number 2. That'll bring up the pitcher, Joey Lucchesi, hitting .167 on the year. That is above average for the pitchers. He does have a run batted in. And Gray will face his opposing counterpart now. His first pitch is going to be swung on and lifted in the air to left. Desmond camping under it, easily makes the catch. That's a quick inning for John Gray. It's still 2-1 Padres after 2 innings of play. Rockies trying to get some offense going here in the third inning. John Gray, the pitcher, is going to lead things off. Still looking for his first hit on the year is Gray. And that swung on and missed. That's low with a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Gray from Lucchesi. Swinging a foul out of play. So Jackie Robinson Day yesterday, Major League Baseball announced that they worked closely with the Jackie Robinson Foundation to help launch Jackie Robinson Day Virtual Learning Hub on jrlegacy.org. It's going to provide educational and other special content as Gray strikes out, with printable educational materials for parents and kids. Hey, if you go to MLB.com/42, there's all sorts of information about Jackie Robinson Day there, including what we just told you about that partnership. David Dahl takes the pitch low. You can see a shift on for Dahl. Brian Dozier playing in shallow right field. It's a pull shift. 1-0 pitch coming from Lucchesi is taken outside. In case you didn't know about Jackie Robinson Day, it's here on April 15th, and that's because on April 15th, 1947, Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier when he made his historic Major League Baseball debut. Dahl takes the pitch low and away, and it's 3 balls and no strikes with Trevor Story waiting on deck. So every year, on April 15th, and this started on 2004, baseball players have worn Jackie Robinson's number to honor his legacy and celebrate his life, values, and accomplishments. 3-1 pitch from Lucchesi to Dahl is swung on and pulled into the shift. Second baseman Dozier from the outfield grass throws to first, and that's out number 2. It started in 1997 was when Jackie Robinson's number was retired throughout the majors, and then Jackie Robinson Day was first took place in 2004, and then every player and all on-field personnel wore his number 42 starting in 2009. There's a reason that it was specifically Jackie Robinson that Branch Rickey took to and chose to be that first player to break the color barrier. And it's because Jackie Robinson didn't just have the physical talents to play. He had the fortitude. He was going to get scorn. He was going to go up there and face absolutely awful insults from the crowd. And he had what it took to stay with it and continue to really allow some of the best players to be in our game today. And it's all thanks to Jackie Robinson. 0-2 pitch coming from Lucchesi to Story, and it's swung on and chopped foul at the plate. There's tons of kids content on MLB.com/42 as well. Crossword puzzles, word searches, coloring book pages, connect the dots games. Story swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. Throw down is going to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 2-1 Padres. Top of the order for the Padres here in the bottom of the third, Juan Lagares. Singled and scored and also stole a base his first time up. First pitch from Gray is taken just a bit high. Lagares, 7-year career now, most of his time with the Mets as their center fielder. Now with the San Diego Padres, signed a minor league deal this offseason and made the team out of spring training. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 2. That's a flare into left field. That'll drop in between Arenado and Desmond for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Juan Lagares, who's going to get that batting average over 200. And he leads things off with a flare single here in the Padres' half of the third. There's tons of Jackie Robinson content on MLB.com today. Hopefully you can go back and view some of that after you listen to this broadcast. But Eric Hosmer will be the batter. He's 0 for 1 today, so Lagares is on first base, nobody out. It's 2-1 Padres. Gray's first pitch to Hosmer is taken high with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Hosmer, 7 for 28 in his career off Gray. It's not great. Does have a home run. That came in the first game of this season. There's a swing and a foul out of play. Lagares was running, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Will do it again. Here's a 1-1 from Gray, and that's swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. Desmond's going over. He has a read on this one. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Lagares back to first. That'll bring up Tommy Pham. Some of the games that are going to be on, some of them already occurred today. At 11 a.m. Mountain Time, there was the ceremony between the Dodgers and the Mets in 1997. Pham swings grounds on back up the middle. Story will flip to second for 1 back to first, and not in time. Didn't look like they were going to have a chance to get anybody. Story was lucky to be able to get the out at second base there, as Lagares was forced out. Pham is safe at first base. There are 2 outs now. Fernando Tatis Jr. will be the batter. It was a similar situation with a runner aboard for him his first time up when he had a 2-run home run. First pitch from Gray this time is taken down and in. Runner goes, and Pham will easily steal second base. And he is on second base with 2 outs. That game from 1947, I should say, was... No, it was 1997. Because 1947 was the 50th anniversary of his debut. Okay. An on-field ceremony from Shea Stadium where Commissioner Bob Selig stood with Robinson's widow Rachel and President Bill Clinton and announced Robinson's number 42 would be retired across the game. And the players who currently wore it were permitted to continue to do so, but the number would never be issued again. So again, we mentioned earlier Mariano Rivera, the last person to play it before they to wear it before they retired. Pitches high, count evens at 2 on Fernando Tatis Jr. There's a swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, and that'll retire the side. We're through 3 innings. It's 2-1 Padres. Bud Black and Steve Foster talking over things as John Gray gave up a 2-run home run to Fernando Tatis Jr., but that is all. He's through 3 innings now. Nolan Arenado leads off the top of the 4th inning. This pitch will be number 50 from Joey Lucchesi on the day. It's taken for a strike. Arenado spent his entire career now with Colorado, 7 years. It was looking a little bit like you might have seen the last of Arenado this offseason in a Rockies uniform with a lot of trade rumors, but Arenado is still here, folks. 0-1 pitch from Lucchesi is swung on and slashed foul towards the seats. Arenado homered twice in yesterday's ball game, had a 3-run home run to make it 8-2 going to the 7th inning stretch. Rockies led that game. Well, you know what happened after that. 0-2 pitch coming, and that swung on and chopped foul down the first base line. Into his motion, the 0-2 pitch from Lucchesi to Arenado is swung on and pulled foul. This 0-2 is strike 3 called, and Arenado strikes out for out number 1.
Now batting, the first baseman, Daniel.
That'll bring up Daniel Murphy. He takes first pitch outside with a cut fastball. It's at 7:30 p.m. Ken Burns' Jackie Robinson documentary started airing on MLB Network. Murphy swings and flies one to left. It's going to go foul and into the seats.
Whoa, that's down.
Tons of stories you can find on MLB.com about the day we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day. Robinson, the only player with his number universally retired. 2-1 pitch is swung on and pulled into right field to base hit. 1-out single for Daniel Murphy, who continues his hot hitting stretch.
Now batting, second baseman, Ryan McMahon.
But a big impact on the civil rights movement for Jackie Robinson. Before Martin Luther King Jr., before the 1964 Civil Rights Act, before Brown versus Board of Education decision. That's a double play, and we'll talk more about the legacy of Robinson in the bottom of the 4th. It's 2-1. 2-1 San Diego Padres. Manny Machado leads off the bottom of the 4th inning.
The third baseman, Manny.
But it's a testament to why when people say that politics and sports don't mix, they do. Because it was really Jackie Robinson and the rest of his Dodgers team
1-0.
that set the tone for starting the nation on the path towards integration. And there's a pitch for a strike to Machado from Gray. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mentioned before the break, it was before President Truman integrated the military. It was before all those big events that we think of. Machado swings and misses for strike 2. At the time Robinson's number was retired in 1997, 13 active players were wearing number 42. Rivera, when he retired in 2013, was the final player to wear that number aside from a Jackie Robinson day. There's a pitch low and outside to Machado. Two from Gray is a check swing, and Machado did not go. Count goes full now. Cleveland Indians writer Mandy Bell has an article about Satchel Paige, who we would have never seen in the major leagues if it had not been for Jackie Robinson. It's a swing and a foul out of play by Machado. It was career in the Negro Leagues, and after that, Satchel Paige, well, the door was closing on his career as Gray gets Machado to strike out for out number 1. And if it weren't for Jackie Robinson, Paige would have potentially not played anymore. He's still fun to watch, even though he was in his declining years when he came over to the major leagues. Will Myers will bat now. First pitch from Gray is swung on and lined into right field, a base hit. So Myers didn't get a hit in yesterday's ball game, a very rare occurrence for him against the Rockies, but happened right in this at-bat. Opposite field single for Will Myers. We saw his numbers absolutely came crashing down. He was hitting .333 last time we saw him in Colorado. Then it's like back to around the .210 mark after he stops facing the Rockies for an extended stretch of like 6 games. So runner on base now. Brian Dozier will take first pitch inside. Myers runs, and the throw down is not going to be in time. Another stolen base for the Padres. We've seen Lagares, Pham, and now Myers' third stolen base of the day for San Diego. There's a strike on the inside corner. Throw to second base, a pickoff throw at second, and Myers is back in there. Pitch is low, and the count is 2-1. That swung on and chopped up the middle into center field, a base hit. Myers will be waved around third, and he will score, and now it's 3-1 Padres, RBI single for Brian Dozier. That'll bring up Francisco Mejia. First pitch from Gray is taken for a strike with a big sweeping curveball. Mejia flied out his first time up. Batting average .354 on the season, a .458 on base percentage, and an .1145 OPS for the very talented Padres catcher, former Cleveland Indian. And that pitch is low with a changeup. Neglected to tell you about a move that was made back on April 4th with the Rockies. And just forgot to mention it until now. I tweeted it out yesterday. But Brian Shaw, who was placed on waivers after he did not make the team out of spring training with the Rockies, ended up clearing waivers and being released back on April 4th. So he's now in the free agent market, has yet to be signed with a team in our simulation here. This is not real life. In our simulation, this move occurred. We'll update you if there's any more information to learn there, as a swing and a foul back over the screen by Mejia, and now the count goes full on Francisco Mejia. Gray gets the sign he likes, and his pitch is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. That's out number 2. Fourth strikeout of the day for Gray comes here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting, the pitcher, Joey Lucchesi.
Joey Lucchesi, the pitcher, will be the batter. Gray will try to make quick work of him. First pitch is swung on and lined towards left field. That's going to drop. Over to cut it off is Desmond, and there will be runners on first and second with 2 outs now. Lucchesi hunts the first pitch, and he gets a base hit. And Steve Foster will go out to the mound to try to settle down John Gray, who's given up a hit now to the pitcher with 2 outs here in the 4th. Gray sitting at 58 pitches on the day. Jeff Hoffman, long reliever for the Rockies, now warming up in the bullpen. Last time we saw Hoffman, he made a start in Arizona, but with Kyle Freeland returning from the injured list and returning to the rotation, Hoffman going back to a long relief role. 2 for 2, a couple singles and a run scored for Juan Lagares. He's had a good series, run batted in, and 3 hits and 6 at-bats overall. 0-1 pitch coming, and that's taken for a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Lagares as Gray's going right after him after that visit to the mound by Steve Foster. 1 for 4 with an RBI in yesterday's ball game. Almost everyone in the order got into the act for the Padres yesterday as they climbed back from that 6-run deficit. There's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball high. 13 of 22 pitches for strikes in this fourth inning for John Gray. Here's a 1-2, and that swung on and grounded up the middle into center field, a base hit. Dozier will be waved around third. Here's a throw to the plate. It's not in time, and now it's 4-1 Padres. RBI single for Juan Lagares, his third hit of the ball game. Lucchesi advances to second base. Here's Gray's line on the day, 3 2/3 innings so far. He's at 62 pitches. He's allowed quite a few hits, 8, 4 runs. No walks, that's a bright side, and 4 strikeouts, that's also a good number. Strikeout to walk ratio looking good. He gave up that big 2-run home run to Fernando Tatis Jr. in the first inning, then just some hits back and forth here. Eric Hosmer's 0 for 2 today. He takes a pitch outside. Ball 1. One-0 pitch coming, and that swung on and grounded towards second base. McMahon will go to second base, and they just do get the out, forcing Lagares. We're through 4 innings. It's 4-1 Padres. Desmond Tapia and Elias Diaz have some work to do for the offense in the 5th. Ian Desmond leads off this 5th inning. Base hit his first time up to the opposite field. Good start for him. Got the day off yesterday as his batting average fell to around 192. Now it's back over 200 with that hit today. First pitch from Lucchesi is taken cutter for a strike. Desmond, 3rd-round pick back in the 2004 draft by the Montreal Expos. Lefty. Desmond hits lefties well. Lefty Lucchesi delivers a strike quickly. 0-2 on Desmond. And here comes an 0-2 now. That swung on and missed. Desmond goes down on 3 pitches, and that is out number 1 here in the 5th. 6th strikeout of the day for Joey Lucchesi.
Up next for Colorado, the right fielder, Raimel.
That'll bring up Raimel Tapia, getting his 3rd start of the season. Lefty-on-lefty matchup now. A couple of those starts coming against lefties for Tapia, who hits righties better than lefties, as you would expect. Pitches a strike on the outside corner. Tapia had an RBI ground out his first time up. Grounded into a force out. Got the out at second base. Tapia was safe at first. Into his motion, the windup, and the 0-1 pitch from Lucchesi is swung on and lifted in the air towards right center field. On a long run is Lagares, but he's going to get there and make the catch for out number 2. Tapia hit it well, but it settled into the glove of Lagares for the second out. 45 of 64 pitches have been strikes for Lucchesi. That's a very good ball-to-strike ratio. And Elias Diaz will be the batter. 5 for 22 start to his season. He grounded out his first time up. We're expecting to see Tony Wolters get the majority of the playing time, even against the lefties from here on out, with Diaz just catching for Freeland, but wanted to give Wolters a breather today after just his first start off the injured list. Diaz, as we mentioned, non-tendered by the Pittsburgh Pirates at the non-tender deadline this offseason, then picked up on a minor league deal with the Rockies and made the team out of spring training after a very good spring in our simulation. 0-1 pitch is a check swing and a pitch low, change-up, and Diaz did not go. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. To his motion, Lucchesi delivers a 1-1 pitch, and it swung on and chopped foul at the plate. And now a 1-2. That's taken low and away with a sinking fastball. And here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped weakly back to the mound. Lucchesi will throw to first. That will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-1 Padres with Pham, Tatis Jr., and Machado due up. Here's Tommy Pham to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th inning. He has grounded out twice. Did have a ground into a force out where he reached base and then was allowed to steal a base. 3 stolen bases for the Padres today. Pham, Lagares, and Myers. Pham has 22 hits on the year. That ranks first on the Friars. That was an 0-1 pitch from Gray, and that's taken low with a big curveball. Gray out there for his 5th inning of work. He's at 66 pitches. Jeff Hoffman was warming up in the bullpen in the 4th inning, as Gray was working into a little bit of trouble in traffic on the bases there in the 4th. This pitch is taken outside with a slider. And the windup in the 2-1 pitch is swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. Desmond's going back on this one. He's got a long run to go to get it at the track, at the wall, and that ball's gone. It's a home run for Tommy Pham, his 2nd of the season, and now it's going to make it 5-1 Padres. That was 379 feet off the bat of Pham, 99.4 mile per hour exit velocity. And pitch number 68 from Gray. Here's what happened to it. Second home run of the season, second home run as a Padre for Tommy Pham, former Cardinal, former Ray. Went over in a trade this offseason. That'll bring up Fernando Tatis Jr. Next pitch will be number 69 of the day from John Gray, and it's taken low. Tatis has a homer in this game. Came in the 1st inning, a 2-run shot. He's 1 for 2. Do his motion, the 1-0 pitch from Gray is swung on and missed. 96-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. Tatis on a good stretch. He's scored 8 runs over his last 10 games. There's a 1-1 from Gray. That's taken low with a slider. It's a hitter's count now. On Tatis. Gray into his motion and gets ready to deliver a 2-1. That's taken for a strike. Good slider from Gray that time. Count evens at 2. So pitch inside, count goes full now. Manny Machado is waiting on deck. Well, Ben Kuchnerkovich of Purple Row along with you. Want to let you know this game is not affiliated with Major League Baseball. MLB The Show 20 were the Colorado Rockies. 3-2 pitch coming from Gray, and that swung on and lined right to the third baseman Arenado for out number 1. Next pitch is going to be number 75 of the day for Gray. It'll be Manny Machado, 1 for 2. He doubled his first time up. That was in the 1st inning. That swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. That had a good sound to it. Desmond's going back. He's at the wall, and that ball's gone. It's a home run for Manny Machado, his 3rd of the year, 2nd against the Rockies. As they are hitting Gray well today are the Padres. 6-1 ball game. The Friars lead it. Sometimes you can tell by the crack of the bat. That one had a 104.3 mile per hour exit velocity, 388 feet off the bat. 6-1 Padres now. Will Myers will be coming to the plate as Manny Machado puts a charge into one. That one was off the sweet spot of the bat for sure. An absolute line drive home run. Bud Black's going to be out and make a pitching change. Rough outing for John Gray. Gives up 6 runs, doesn't make it through 5. Home runs off the bat of Tatis, Pham, and Machado. New pitcher will be Jeff Hoffman. Let's see, 14 innings pitched on the year. He's got a 4.50 ERA, 13 strikeouts against 5 walks. Lefties have hit him better than righties. It's only his 5th game. He's made a couple of starts. The spot starter while Kyle Freeland was on the injured list. Still stretched out is Hoffman, so he could potentially give the Rockies plenty of innings here. Will Myers will be the first batter he faces. He takes the pitch high and away with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 for 2 on the day for Myers. Singled and scored earlier in this one. Was held hitless yesterday, but right off the bat, getting hits again against the Rockies here in Game 2 of this series. 1-0 pitch from Hoffman is taken inside.
Ball 2.
116 career home runs across parts of 7 seasons for Myers. Started in the Royals organization, then made his debut in the major leagues with the Rays, now with the Padres. There's a swing and a miss, 2-1 the count. Rockies in danger of losing their first series of the year on the road. Previously took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers, also split their opening series against the Padres, first time they were here. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Rockies' first 6 series of the year, 3 of those series against these Padres. Certainly familiar with the Friars early on in this 2020 campaign. 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Hoffman gets Myers to swing and miss for strike 3. Gray, final line on him today, 75 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, pitched 6 runs on 10 hits, no walks and 4 strikeouts. So he will be hoping the bullpen and the offense can get going from here. Now Jake McGee's warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies. Here's Brian Dozier, 1 for 2 in this ball game. First pitch from Hoffman is taken outside. Here's McGee. Dozier, as I've mentioned before, former member of the Dodgers, Twins, and Nationals last year. 1-0 pitch coming from Hoffman. That swung on and popped in the air to center. Dahl's got a read on it. He will make the catch. That will retire the side. Hoffman gets the last 2 outs of this inning. It's 6-1 Padres after 5.
Your attention, please.
And Charlie Blackmon's going to pinch hit. But Jeff Hoffman will just get a couple batters. Charlie Blackmon leading off the 6th inning as Bud Black wants to get some offense going right away. Pitch count not in great shape for Lucchesi. Next pitch will be number 70 of the day. See a couple relievers warming up in the Padres bullpen. Ground ball to first base. Hosmer will flip to Lucchesi. That's out number 1. A 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's how Blackmon's pinch hit at bat goes. Jeff Hoffman just getting tasked with getting a couple of outs there to end the 5th inning. David Dahl, the batter now, for 2 strikeout and a ground out. Doubled in yesterday's ball game. He'll try to have a bit of a lengthier at bat than Blackmon did. First pitch is taken low and away. It's 2 lefties in the Padres bullpen, Matt Strahm and Drew Pomeranz. We saw Pomeranz yesterday. Into his motion, the windup and the 1-0 pitch from Lucchesi is taken low with a sinker. And that's right in there for a called strike. Hitter's count now for Dahl. Into his motion, the windup and the 2-1 pitch from Lucchesi to Dahl is taken for a strike on the outside part of the outside corner. That'll be a 2-2 pitch coming. That's pitch number 75 of the day from Lucchesi. And here it is, swung on and grounded fair down the left field line. That's headed towards the wall. Over to pick it up is Pham, but not before Dahl cruises into second base. That's another double for Dahl, leads the team. What is that, number 8 on the year now for Dahl? Well, we will find out. I'm sure we'll see a graphic for it. Nice piece of opposite field hitting for Dahl. He hits to all fields, really. They like to shift on him. Maybe that is what the data says, but Dahl will certainly take that ball to the other way. Here's Trevor Story now with Dahl on second base. First pitch is high as the Rockies try to answer back in this one. Only a 5-run deficit for the Rockies. Padres were able to overcome a 6-run deficit in yesterday's ball game. Rockies had an 8-2 lead at one point. We'll try not to mention that again. Story has struck out twice today. He swings and slashes 1 foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. So 0 for 2 day at the plate for Story. Sitting on 125 career home runs. A couple have come this season. Here's a 1-1 from Lucchesi, and that's swung on and chopped foul at the plate. Rockies will at least try to increase that pitch count of Lucchesi a little bit here in the 6th. Lucchesi takes a look at second base where Dahl is and delivers a pitch low. Count evens at 2 on Story. He's 8-8 now on the year after taking 2 of 3 from the D-backs. They were again above 500, then lost the first game of this series. Pitch inside, count goes full on Trevor Story. Nolan Arenado, he of the 2 home runs yesterday, is waiting on deck. 7 on the season now for Nolan Arenado. That easily paces the team. 3-2 pitch coming from Lucchesi to Story, and it's swung on and lined right back up the box into center field for a base hit. Dahl will make it to third base, and there are runners on the corners now with 1 out for Nolan Arenado. Solo homer and a 3-run home run in the ballgame for Arenado last night, so 4 runs batted in if you add those totals. He'll get another opportunity with a couple of men on. Arenado loves hitting with runners in scoring position, loves hitting against left-handed pitchers. He's 0 for 2, however, on the day. First pitch from Lucchesi is swung on and grounded into left field, a base hit. Dahl will score. Story trying to get to third. Throw by Pham is not going to be in time. And runners will remain on the corners with 2 outs, with 1 out. That was Nolan Arenado with an RBI single, making this a 6-2 ball game as the Rockies try to answer back. Daniel Murphy will be the batter. He's 1 for 2. First pitch is taken for a strike at the knees. Murphy, with 1 swing of the bat here, could make this a 1-run ball game. Base hit in the 4th inning for Murphy. And here comes the pitch. That's taken low with a changeup. Murphy, former Met, former National. Second year with the Rockies, has an option for a third, a mutual option. There's a pitch low and away. 2-1 the count. It's a hitter's count now on Daniel Murphy, as the Rockies offense looking to come alive against Joey Lucchesi. 6-2 Padres. The 2-1 pitch to Murphy is taken for a strike. Lucchesi takes a look at first base, gets ready to deliver a 2-2 pitch to Murphy, and it's swung on and pulled. It's a fair ball. Going to second for 1 is Hosmer. Return throw to first. That is a nice double play started by Hosmer to end this one. We are through going to the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-2 Padres.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
Jake McGee, new pitcher for the Rockies.
For Colorado, number 42, Jake McGee. Leading off for the Padres,
Francisco Mejia leads off. He's 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout on the day. Jeff Hoffman just getting a couple outs there in the bottom of the 5th. Here's McGee, who delivers his first pitch, and that's swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow center field. Dahl camping under it, makes the catch for out number 1. Quick out for McGee. McGee has been a real bright spot early on in the year. It's a very good ERA. It was a bit of a struggle for the bullpen last night, the combination of Wade Davis, Carlos Estevez, James Pazos, and Jairo Diaz. Jurickson Profar will pinch hit here. You see hitting .556 on the year. Got a key walk in last night's ball game. First pitch from McGee is taken just a bit inside. Still a very small sample of at-bats to work with for Profar. Former Ranger, former top prospect in all of baseball, former A, and now a bench bat for the Padres is Jurickson Profar. Traded to the A's for Buddy Reed. Traded from the A's, I should say, for Buddy Reed and Austin Allen. There's a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. So 6-year career now for Profar. Padres have to be pleased with what they've gotten from him so far as a bench bat. 1-1 pitch from McGee is swung on and fouled. It's going to go over the screen. 1-2 the count. This pitch is taken inside with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from McGee. Count evens at 2. McGee into his motion. The windup and the 2-2 pitch is swung on and lined into left field, a base hit. Profar just keeps hitting for the Padres. Extends that batting average up over 556 now. And that's a one-out single for him. Juan Lagares has had a heck of a day at the plate. 3 for 3, 3 base hits, 1 run batted in, 1 run scored. So his batting average coming into this one was under 200. Now it's at 225, and the Friars encouraging the crowd to get excited so the Padres can score even more runs and increase that lead. It's now 6-2. First pitch from McGee is swung on and lined down the right field line that's headed towards the corner. It's foul. McGee takes a look over at first base. That's where Profar is. His 0-1 to Lagares is swung on and flared towards first baseman Murphy in foul territory. He'll make the catch. That's out number 2. Profar will stay put at first base.
The batter, the first baseman.
And that will leave it up to Eric Hosmer here in the 6th as McGee tries to work around that base hit by Profar and keep this inning scoreless. Hosmer has a rough series going, 0 for 7. Does have a run batted in that came in the first game of the series, as nearly everyone in the Padres lineup did. McGee's first pitch to Hosmer in a lefty-on-lefty matchup is taken for a strike. Hosmer does have good numbers in his career against McGee. 5 hits and 15 at-bats. One of those hits a home run. Lefty-on-lefty matchup, though. Not necessarily mattering to Hosmer in his career against McGee. A 1 pitch is taken outside of the fastball. A real hot start to the season for Hosmer. We saw that in both of the first 2 series of the year the Padres played against the Rockies here in San Diego and in Colorado. But a bit of a quieter series for him now. 1-1 pitch from McGee is swung on and lined foul towards the seats. Hosmer delivering a souvenir to the San Diego faithful. And that pitch is taken outside. Two-two pitch. Swung on and chopped foul at the plate. We will do it again. Two-two. Swung on and chopped foul again. Hosmer not going quietly against McGee. Another 2-2 is swung on and pulled foul. Quite the plate appearance being worked here by Eric Hosmer. One more time. That one's low and the count goes full. Tommy Pham is waiting on deck. He has a home run today. McGee delivers a 3-2, and that swung on and popped up. Second baseman McMahon camping under it. He's calling for it. And he'll make the catch. That'll retire the side. McGee works a scoreless inning, and we are through 6 innings now. 6-2 Padres.
Complete. Now
New pitcher for the Padres here in the 7th is going to be Matt Strahm, 8 1/3 innings on the year, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. Lefties have hit him well, this left-handed pitcher, 353 against him, while righties have hit 176. 9th game of the year for Strahm. First batter he will face is Ryan McMahon. We talk about a lefty who hits lefty as well. Ryan McMahon, he's 1 for 2 on the day. Doubled and scored a run last time up. So 6 innings of strong work for Lucchesi, holding the Rockies to a couple of runs. First pitch from Strahm misses outside. McMahon has a home run in his career against Strahm. 1-0 pitch is swung on and pulled foul down the right field line. Backhanded by the ball boy down there. It's a 1-1 count on Ryan McMahon. Into his motion, Strahm delivers a 1-1 pitch, and it's taken inside. Hitters count, predictable fastball count now for Ryan McMahon. Here's the 2-1. That's swung on and grounded into right field. A base hit. Leadoff single for Ryan McMahon here in the 7th as the Rockies try to get the bats going. Chipped away a little bit in the 6th and got a run home. They will try to do a little bit better than that here in the 7th. Luis Perdomo, the righty, has now joined the lefty Drew Pomeranz in the bullpen for the Padres. Ian Desmond, the batter, first pitch is taken high. 1 for 2, base hit back in the 2nd inning for Desmond. Got the day off yesterday, back in there in left field today. Raimel Tapia making his 2nd straight start. Played for Desmond yesterday, in there for Charlie Blackmon today, though we did see Blackmon get a pinch hit appearance a couple innings ago. Desmond fouled that one out of play, count levels at 1. Strum takes a look at first base, delivers his pitch to Desmond, and it's swung on and lined into left field, a base hit. First 2 Rockies aboard here in the top of the 7th. A couple hits today for Ian Desmond. I'll bring up Raimel Tapia. He's 0 for 2 today, a ground out, a fly out, also a run batted in, RBI grounded into a force out. The Friar is taunting the Rockies a little bit here. He doesn't think Tapia can get a hit. It's up to Tapia to prove him wrong. Strum takes a look at second base. That's where McMahon is, and he delivers a pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Tapia, a bit of a struggle out of the gate. He uses a pinch hitter through much of the first few series of the season. And got a start in Arizona now, a couple starts here. He swings and misses. He's quickly down 0-2 against Strom. Lefty on lefty matchup. Strom a look at second base and gets ready to deliver an 0-2 to Tapia. That's taken high. Into his motion, the 1-2 pitch is low and away with a slider. McMahon on second base, Desmond on first, both singled to start the 7th inning. Nobody out for Raimel Tapia. 2-2 pitch is taken low, and the count goes full with Elias Diaz waiting on deck. And here's a 3-2. Strike 3 called on the outside part of the outside corner. Tapia is not going away just yet. He's going to have a few words for the home plate umpire before he goes back to the dugout. Looked a bit outside from that angle. Might have been in the zone from the overhead camera. Well, here's Elias Diaz now. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch from Strom to the righty is taken low. He has 0 for 2. He's put the ball on the ground twice for outs today. He's 5 for 23 to start his season. .0 is swung on and chopped. Diving stop by Hosmer, but it's off his glove. He recovers and throws to first. Not in time. Diaz is going to reach, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. Now that'll be an infield single for Elias Diaz. And we'll see who pinch hits here. It's going to be Chris Owings.
Number 42.
Everybody's wearing 42 today. Chris Owings it is. He's going to take the pinch hit at bat here in the pitcher's spot. Being .235 on the young season. He likes facing lefties, though. First pitch is swung on and grounded to short. Tatis goes to second for 1, back to first, and that is a double play. Rockies get the bases loaded, 1 out. Chris Owings grounds into the inning-ending double play. And Strom works out of trouble.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for
Carlos
Colorado,
Estevez will take over here in the bottom of the 7th. 10 and a third innings on the year, 14 strikeouts, 3 walks. That's a good ratio. He had a rough go of it yesterday, but really everyone who came out of the pen to pitch for the Rockies did. 4.35 his ERA is up to. James Pazos also had a rough day yesterday. He's warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Tommy Pham 1 for 3. He homered back in the 5th inning off John Gray. First pitch from Estevez is taken low and away. Here's Pazos in the bullpen. Really, it's been San Diego and Petco Park that has been the trouble for Estevez this year. He's pitched great everywhere else, but that first game of the year here in San Diego gave up a 3-run home run and gave up some runs in yesterday's ball game. So Petco Park maybe not the kindest place in the world to Estevez. 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike. He's trying to prove that he can pitch here at Petco today. Most pitchers don't mind having to come pitch at Petco, or rather pitcher-friendly atmosphere. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That swung on and fouled back to the screen. Rockies had a really good opportunity to push some runs across in the top of the 7th. With the bases loaded with 1 out. First 2 batters reached for them. Swing and a miss, and Estevez gets Pham on strikes. That's out number 1. First out is a strikeout for Estevez. Right now, Wade Davis and James Pazos, double barrel action, warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies. Let's take a look at that 2-run home run by Fernando Tatis Jr. again, because why not? Came back in the first inning. That open scoring for this ball game gave the Padres that early 2-0 lead off John Gray. Pham would later homer. Next pitch is taken inside, ball 1 from Estevez to Tatis. Machado also homering today off John Gray. Estevez into his motion. The 1-0 pitch is taken outside with a slider. We hope you've enjoyed or at least tolerated our last 2 broadcasts, which have been audio-only broadcasts. We had to find some workarounds to get our video to work. We believe we have done so today. If you can see this, then we have done our job. Manny Machado waiting on deck as it's a 3-0 count on Fernando Tatis Jr. .3-0 coming from Estevez, and that one's in there for a strike at the top of the zone. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Always bringing the heat is Wild Thing, Carlos Estevez. Here's a 3-1, and that's in there for a strike. From 3-0, the count now goes full on Tatis. Estevez looking to answer right back for his performance yesterday and have a good one today. Here's a 3-2, and that's high, ball 4. Went out walk to Tatis. That'll bring up Manny Machado, who has homered today.
The third baseman, Manny Machado.
2 for 3 day at the plate for Machado. Also has a double. He's hitting .238 on the year now. Estevez gets the sign he likes from Diaz. Takes a look over his shoulder. Now delivers his first pitch to Machado, and it's taken just a bit high with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Machado really struggled in his career against Estevez. 0 for 7, 5 strikeouts. Not a huge sample to work with, but you can see that Estevez certainly has Machado's number in those brief appearances. .1-0 pitch is swung on and ripped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. There's a throw to first to drive back Tatis. Tatis very speedy, 5-tool player really. He has the potential to be over there. The young shortstop for the Padres who missed time due to a season-ending injury in 2019. He's back there in 2020. Pitch outside, 2-1 the count now on Machado. A predictable fastball count. We'll see what Estevez gives to him here on the 2-1. Takes a look over his shoulder and delivers That swung on and chopped, foul at the plate. You see at the bottom of your screen, Mike Trout hit his 6th home run for the simulated Angels today. That's simulated Mike Trout, though, and the real Mike Trout we unfortunately aren't getting to see right now. What really is unfortunate is this is the prime of Mike Trout's career. So every day we miss baseball due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are missing watching Mike Trout in his prime years, and that's one of the special player you really want to get everything you can out of him. Estevez gets Machado to swing and miss. It's going to be out number 2. As Estevez tries to work around his 1-out walk to Tatis. Will Myers is who he must face to send this ball game to the 8th. 6-2 Padres, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Estevez delivers his first pitch to Myers, and it's swung on and missed. 99-mile-an-hour fastball by him. Good velocity from Estevez. Haven't seen him touch 100 quite yet. He usually will give that to us once or twice a game. Myers has a single, and he scored a run earlier in this ball game. Another throw to first to drive back Tatis. He's back in there in plenty of time. A 1 is swung on and missed quickly. 0-2 on Myers. He's not getting cheated up there right now. And the 0-2, that's way high. Ball 1. One, 2. Swung on and popped in the air to right. Tapia camping under it. He'll make the catch once that finally comes down. That'll retire the side. We're through 7 innings. It's 6-2 Padres. Rockies have the top of their order due up in the 8th. Here's David Dahl, 1 for 3, doubled and scored earlier in this one. It's still Drew Pomeranz, the lefty, and Luis Perdomo, the righty, warming up in the Padres bullpen. Matt Strahm still on the mound. Really worked out of trouble there in the top of the 7th inning. Rockies had the bases loaded, 1 out, could not score. David Dahl swings and fouls one back to the screen. Mentioned lefties hitting very well against Strahm this year, and a guy like David Dahl at the top of your lineup, that's a lefty who normally hits lefties well, so even better for him. 0-1 is swung on and ripped towards right field, but he hit it too hard, right into the glove of Will Myers for out number 1. Nothing you can do about that if you are David Dahl.
Trevor Story.
Trevor Story will be the batter. 1 for 3. He got a base hit in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 8 in this series. Had a double in yesterday's ball game. So scores around baseball. 4-2 Braves beat the Mets. Felix Hernandez signed a minor league deal with the Braves this offseason, then made the team, and he got his first win as a member of a team not named the Seattle Mariners today for the Braves. You see the double barrel action continuing in the Padres bullpen. A 0-1 pitch to Story is swung on and missed. It's quickly 0-2 on Story. Strahm working his 2nd inning of work, gets ready to deliver an 0-2 pitch to Story. And it swung on and lined in the air towards center field. Coming in as Lagares. He'll get there to make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, the third baseman, Nolan.
And that will leave it up to Nolan Arenado. 1 for 3 RBI single in this ball game. Batting average sitting at .355. 7 home runs. That was his 17th run batted in of the year. And first pitch from Strahm to Arenado is taken low. Arenado has struggled in his brief sample against Strahm in his career. 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts.
That's ball 2.
That's down and in with a fastball. 12,271 in attendance here on Wednesday in San Diego. There's a strike on the inside corner. Hitter's count now for Arenado. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Not the highest of velocity from Strom, but he's certainly effective at mixing his pitches. Good movement as well. Here comes a 2-1 pitch now. Swung on and chopped back up the middle. It's going to get into center field. A base hit. 2-out single for Nolan Arenado. I'll put a runner aboard here in the 8th.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Albeit with 2 outs, Daniel Murphy will be the batter. This is starting to reach the part of the lineup that has had the most success today, though. Arenado, Murphy, McMahon, and Desmond. Daniel Murphy 1 for 3 in this ballgame. First pitch is swung on and lined into right field. A base hit. Arenado will move up to second base, and a couple of runners on now for Ryan McMahon.
Now batting, second baseman.
Another multi-hit game for Daniel Murphy. He's absolutely tearing the cover off the ball after a slow start to the year. We'll have a new pitcher for the Padres. It's going to be Emilio Pagan, 6 2/3 innings. 6 strikeouts and 6 walks. The walk number is high. Hasn't given up many hits, though. See, his ERA sits at 5.40 early on. This is his 9th game of the season. He's pitched against the Rockies. Rockies have hit him well. This is his first year since coming over from the Rays in a trade. Ryan McMahon, 2 for 3, double, single, and a run scored today. That slugging percentage at a good number of 476. We'd like to see the first 2 numbers of that slash line a bit higher as the season wears on, though. Being 238 with a 300 on base percentage. So Kirby Yates starting to warm up in the bullpen. If this becomes a save situation for the Padres, pitch low and away to McMahon. Here's a 1-0 now, and that's swung on and grounded to third base. Machado goes to second for the force, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 Padres. Wade Davis on to pitch for the Rockies. 8 innings, 7 strikeouts, and a walk. You can see righties have hit .417 against him. Lefties have hit .429. Those are some good batting averages. That's why the ERA is up at 10.13. And a struggle for Davis yesterday. Already lost the closer role, at least for the time being, and then struggled in middle relief yesterday. Brian Dozier will be the first batter. Single RBI and run scored in this ballgame. 2 for 7 with a double in the series. Davis will pitch with his team trailing by 4 runs. Probably a good opportunity for him to get out there and work on some things. First pitch is swung on and grounded. It's flied towards the left and into the seats for strike 1. A 1 pitch is swung on and missed, and a pitch in the dirt. Quickly 0-2 on Dozier. Davis gets the sign he likes into his motion, the windup and the 0-2 pitch. That swung on and fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Davis into his motion. The 0-2 again is in the dirt that time with a breaking ball. Dozier does not chase. Yoenis Cespedes also in that game between the Braves and Mets hit his first home run in quite a while. Check swinging a pitch in the dirt. Dozier does not go. Count evens at 2. First home run of the year for Yoenis Cespedes. In a losing cause, though. There's a swing and a pop-up. First baseman Murphy camping under it. It's going to be the catcher Diaz in foul territory. That's out number 1. Mejia, Francisco Mejia, 0 for 3 in this ballgame. He will bat now. Pitcher spot on deck. We'll likely see a pinch hitter for Emilio Pagan. First pitch from Davis to Mejia is taken high and away. Mejia, remember, hit a home run off Davis in the first series of the year here in San Diego to tie the game in the 9th inning. A save situation for Davis. And here's a 1-0 now. It's taken just a bit outside, 2-0. I wonder if they have a king's court for Felix Hernandez in Atlanta. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and that swung on and ripped foul. Hit well by Mejia, but late on that one. Two on pitch is swung on and shot foul at the plate. Now the count evens at 2. Two pitch, that's outside. Full count, 95-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Wade Davis. Mentioned the pitcher's spot on deck. Right now it's Emilio Pagan. You should see someone off the bench. Greg Garcia, perhaps. We've seen him quite a bit. Or Josh Naylor. Strike 3 called. And Davis gets a strikeout for out number 2. Strikeout of Francisco Mejia.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Pinch hitting for the Padres, number 42, Greg.
And it is Greg Garcia to pinch hit for the pitcher Emilio Pagan. With 2 outs here in the 8th, Wade Davis getting 2 quick outs. First pitch to Garcia is swung on and pulled foul. Garcia, .222 average on the year with a run batted in, mostly as a pinch hitter. Scores around baseball, Twins beat the Blue Jays 10-9. It's like Eddie Rosario hit a couple home runs. 0-1 pitch from Davis here is swung on and pulled in the air to right. Tapia camping under it. He'll make the catch. That'll retire the side. We're through 8. 1-2-3 inning for Wade Davis. Rockies' last chance will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Desmond, Tapia, and Diaz in the 9th.
Your attention, please. Now,
It'll be Luis Perdomo to start this inning. If he runs into some trouble and this becomes a save situation, we'll undoubtedly see Kirby Yates, who's also warming up. 2.61 ERA on the year is pretty good in its own right, though. However, Yates is not currently warming up in the bullpen. It's just Drew Pomeranz. Ian Desmond, first batter Perdomo faces. He takes a strike on the inside corner. Desmond has good numbers against Perdomo in his career. At 5 for 12, that's a .417 batting average. Comes an 0-1. That's way outside. There's Pomeranz, the only one right now in the Padres bullpen in case Perdomo runs into trouble. We have the 3-batter minimum rule this year. Pitcher has to pitch to at least 3 batters unless there's an injury situation or it's the end of an inning. 1-1 pitch coming to Desmond is taken outside of the slider. 2-1 the count. Hitter's count now for Desmond. Yates was warming up. No longer. The Rockies could do without having to deal with one of the best closers in baseball. Desmond swings and misses at a splitter, and the count evens at 2. Desmond 2 for 3 on the day, a couple of base hits. It's good to get his batting average up over the Mendoza line. Wind up in the pitch from Perdomo is swung on and fouled out of play. Back in the 7th inning, Rockies had a really good opportunity to score some runs. Got the bases loaded with 1 outs. McMahon and Desmond started that inning off with singles. Desmond swings, it's a high fly ball to right. Myers camping under it. He'll make the catch for out number 1.
now batting, right fielder, Raimel Tapia.
That'll bring up Raimel Tapia. He's 0 for 3 on the day. It's a bit of a slow, sluggish start for Tapia to the year. Jose Castillo has now joined Drew Pomeranz in the bullpen. A couple of lefties for the Padres in case Perdomo runs into trouble here. An 0 for 3 on the day for Tapia. Does have a run batted in. He pulls one foul. RBI grounded into a force out. Was fast enough to beat out the potential double play, and a run came across the dish to score. That was McMahon earlier in this one. 0-1 pitch to Tapia, swung on and missed quickly. 0-2 on Raimel Tapia. Here's an 0-2. That's taken low and away with a splitter. Perhaps a really big call in that 7th inning was a strike 3 call to Tapia on a pitch that looked like it might have been outside. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. 1-2, that's high and away with a two-seam fastball. That evens at 2. It's Elias Diaz, the catcher, waiting on deck, then the pitcher spot. There's a swing and a ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. There's a one-out single for Raimel Tapia here in the 9th. 6-2, Padres lead it. You see Tapia get in on the action with a base hit. Elias Diaz will be the batter now. 1 for 3 in this ball game. First pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner with a slider. Base hit in the 7th inning for Diaz. He's 6 for 24 on the year now. It's a .250 batting average. It was an infield single for him. So he was part of that. The 3 Rockies that got hits in the 7th inning. Couldn't push across any runs, though. There's a strike on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on Diaz. And the pitch, just a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And one more time a 1-2. That swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. That'll be out number 2. Rockies down to their final out. We'll see who takes the appearance for Wade Davis.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Rockies. Number 42, Sam.
It's going to be Sam Hilliard. Hilliard hitting .200 on the year, just 1 start. First pitch is low, ball 1. 533 OPS for Sam Hilliard in very brief action. Hilliard got a hit last time he played here in San Diego in that 15-inning game earlier in the year. 1-0 pitch is swung on and ripped towards right center field. On the run for this one is Myers. He'll get there and make the catch. That's going to retire the side. And that's your ball game. Final score, Padres beat the Rockies 6-2, so Rockies lose their first series of the year on the road. They'll try to avoid the sweep tomorrow. It was not quite the heartbreaking loss that it was yesterday when the Rockies lost that 6-run lead. But it was Padres early and often in this one, getting 3 home runs today from Fernando Tatis Jr., from Manny Machado, and from Tommy Pham. Also a few stolen bases in this game for the Padres. Good pitching performance for all of San Diego. Joey Lucchesi gets the win. John Gray gives up 6 runs across not quite 5 innings, and he's now 1-3 on the year. Lucchesi gets his first win, actually. With 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, no walks for Lucchesi. John Gray goes 4 1/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, 4 strikeouts, no walks. Tommy Pham gets player of the game honors. He's 1 for 4 with a home run in this ball game. Also stole a base. Manny Machado goes 2 for 4 with a homer. We mentioned the Tatis home run. Lagares 3 for 4 at the plate. Good hitters for the Rockies. Ryan McMahon, Nolan Arenado, and Daniel Murphy all getting 2 hits. One of those hits was a double for McMahon. Also a double in this ballgame for David Dahl. Ian Desmond getting a couple hits as well. Well, that is all for today. 6-2 Padres is your final. Thank you for tuning in.